Welcome back again. If you have just joined us, we welcome you. We're still right here, of course, on Pan-African Morning, broadcasting live in Midrand, giving you the news and updates, of course. Just a very quick one before we go on our green couch, of course, or maybe before we can give you the news headlines. Let's start right straight on our green couch. We've got TUMI SEFOLO, who is actually representing SEFA. TUMI, good morning and a warm welcome to Galaxy Universal Network.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You know, having women, young women, not just women, in such a big positions, it's something that makes me feel like, yeah, man, we have arrived. We have arrived. A very quick intro
Yes.
to our viewers at home.
Yes. So I'm TUMI SEFOLO. I'm responsible for lending at SEFA. I've been with the company, I think, for just over 2 years. Prior to that, I've been in the development funding space for another 10 or 12 years. So I am responsible for our direct lending, which is where we give funding directly to SMMEs, as well as wholesale lending, where we give funding through our intermediaries. Mm-hmm. So essentially the core business of SEFA.
I think you came at the very right time, where a lot of businesses are struggling right now. Most of them has shut down due to COVID-19, of course, and some businesses were already suffering before COVID-19, and people probably that got to apply to you, they even don't know the processes, they don't know. When we talk of small businesses that you fund, what are we talking about here? I was telling somebody that we are actually a small business, like, Galaxy small business. What are we talking about? Let us maybe clarify that so that people know if they do qualify to approach you.
So our definition of small business is drawn from the National Small Business Act, which defines small, micro, medium, and small and micro businesses. So we support micro businesses, and when I say micro businesses, I'm talking about umama othengisa amatamati on the side of the road.
Really?
Yes, we do support. We support usisi who's doing hair. We've got a personal care scheme at the moment where we are supporting people in the townships who are providing hair services. We support butcheries. We support grocery stores. And then obviously we support your more formal businesses, that are across a wide range of sectors, whether it's construction, whether it's retail, whether it's franchising. So we really support a very wide, whether it's in the petroleum industry, we fund filling stations, we fund companies that supply oil. So it's the full spectrum of SMME, essentially.
Oh, wow.
So your small, medium, and micro enterprises are supported by SEFA.
You know, one, when we say, oh, SEFA, is it a private? I know it's a government, but just for information's sake, if we can get to understand what angle, because people, when we're talking about government funding, they think of IDC and not really thinking of that some services are available at SEFA. Please, can you take us through as well in terms of identifying really the identity of SEFA?
Sure. So SEFA is a subsidiary of the IDC. So our holding company is the IDC.
Okay.
We fund up to a maximum of 15 million. So from as little, through our intermediaries, from as little as 500 Rand, right up to 15 million. But when you get to the 15 million threshold, we are not able to assist you. We then pass you on to the IDC. We report to the Department of Small Business Development. So the Department of Small Business Development is our executive authority. We're a government entity. We've been in existence for approximately 7 years, and we have presence throughout the country. So in every single province there is a SEFA office as well as what we call a co-location,
yes,
where we've partnered either with the IDC or the local municipality to provide services for small businesses.
So where do I start? Let's say I'm a mother selling tomatoes there and I need a table. I don't have money to buy a table, and maybe I need a small cooler in my house to keep my tomatoes fresh.
Yeah.
Where do I start by applying for some funding? Of course, do I have to explain to you what I want to do with the money, or I tell you, listen, I'm selling tomatoes, please, I need some money, and do I have to prove to you what I have done with my money thereafter?
So the best place to start is the internet. And I encourage people to use the internet because obviously because of COVID, we really want to try and eliminate people moving up and down unnecessarily.
Yes.
Most people do have a cell phone, and most people actually do have a smartphone.
Yes.
So they're able to just Google. If you go onto the SEFA website, which is sefa.org.za,
yes,
and you will see all the services that we provide. But also, most importantly, if you want to apply for any of our schemes, you can go onto the SMME SA portal. It's the national SMME database that is owned by the by the Department of Small Business Development, and all our application processes start on that website. That is smmesa.gov.za. So when you go there, you will see that all the various schemes and funding that we offer. So the example that you make for the fruit and vegetable vendors, there is a scheme that we are administering at the moment where it's 100% grant. It's not a loan. We are giving 1,000 Rand to every single fruit and vegetable vendor, and this is really just to help them to buy stock. So that they are able to restart their businesses, because many of them were not able to trade, particularly in the hard lockdown. So level 5, they weren't able to do anything. So they just don't know what to do now. So they are able to go onto that website, register. And once you go onto the website and register, then someone will contact you to say and attach whatever information. But for fruit and vegetable vendors, it's all you need is your ID and your trading permit.
Yes.
The other schemes, for example, the personal care scheme, once again, it's also on the same website, smmesa.gov.za, or the SEFA website. And there you would need slightly bit more information because you're obviously, that is a combination of a loan and a grant. For bakeries, we do a loan. For people that are sewing, textile businesses, whether it's sewing clothes, you're sewing masks, we also offer loans for that.
Yes.
And our requirements are very, very minimal because we recognize that for these informal businesses, many of our people don't have lots and lots of documentation, but they must be registered because we are government owned. We must know who we are giving the money to.
You know, when it comes to limitations, we understand that there are people in rural areas and others actually in townships, but they don't have access to the internet.
Yes.
They don't even have smartphones that could assist them in doing that. And others, maybe they've got internet cafe somewhere, but they don't even have money to use to go to that place. So how do we help those?
Okay. So then if you do not have access to the internet, then we encourage you to go to see our sister agency, SEDA, the Small Enterprise Development Agency. They have much more offices than SEFA does, and once again, they have offices all over the country. So you can physically go there and they will help you with all the registration processes to make sure that you can apply for the funding. So you can get the information of your nearest SEDA offices once again on the website on seda.org.za.
Yes.
But all the information is there.
We definitely will share some of that information, of course, on our screens and our social media platforms, where we can make sure that people get hold of that information, especially the easiest part where people people can just get 1,000 rand to go start up whatever they want.
Yes.
They were doing if they were halted, of course, on that. Maybe in closing, what will be the quickest message you want to give to small business owners, as a matter of advice? Because a lot of them say, I have a business, but now when I come and apply, what's the biggest problem that these guys come across?
So the biggest message that I'd want to give to small businesses at the moment is that the Department of Small Business has actually taken a huge step to try and assist as many small businesses as possible. So if you need help, we are likely to assist you. What you need to be is just make sure that you come to us or go to our websites and be determined. Don't give up, because the money is available and there are businesses that get approved. So do not be discouraged and sit at home and think there's nothing that I can do. Push through and contact us. Make sure you go to the websites, because the websites have all the information. And if you can't go to the websites, please go to the offices, the CEDA and SEFA offices, and you will be assisted.
Now, thank you so much, TUMI, for sharing this information. As I said, we're probably going to have to have this conversation as many times as possible so that it reaches to the masses as much as possible. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.